listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Alive Again on Pet Life Radio. My name is Brent Atwater, and my co-host over there is Miss...
Hi, everybody. I'm Meg Martin. Welcome today.
And we appreciate all those on the other side who are listening to us and everyone who's picked up our archives. We've had a lot of emails from folks saying they've listened to all of our podcasts and have learned a great deal. And that's what we offer to you. We want you to learn a little something when you go away from this show. And today we're going to talk about cats' health problems. And one of the things that I have to always do first is my propers. So here they are. This radio show is for informational and entertainment purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice or veterinary advice. Brent Atwater, that's me, is not a medical doctor nor associated with any branch of veterinary medicine. We always want you to consult a trained healthcare professional or veterinarian concerning advice, diagnosis, or treatment for any medical problem or condition with your pets. And with traditional medicine, there are no guarantees with the science of intuitive medical diagnosis. So why am I reading all this? Because today we're going to get insights on animal intuitive health. And I am an animal medical intuitive, which means I have the gift to look inside an animal's body and to see their nerves and bones and cells and everything like that, and give you intuitive suggestions and healing solutions to hopefully make your cats, dogs, animals, ferrets, snakes, or birds' life a little bit better. And if I've left one off, I'm sorry, but there's so many wonderful pets out there. I was reading about a teacup pig. Have you heard about those, Meg?
They are adorable.
Have you seen them?
Absolutely. Yes, they are the most precious little faces. My goodness.
I have never seen a teacup pig, and it's just sort of like, you think of a pig and you think, well, that's large. But they say they're highly intelligent and make fabulous apartment pets. So, Mark, at some point in time, we'll probably have to do a show on teacup and the little, mini pigs. Can you believe that?
They're just absolutely precious.
And they're smart. I mean, they can be trained, and they were showing pictures of how they go to the potty and everything in a litter box. So
goodness.
You know that lop-eared bunnies can be trained to do?
Now that I didn't know.
In their little poo-poo boxes. Yes, sir. So, moving rapidly along, one of the things we'd like to also share with you is please like our Facebook page. It's called Alive Again, and we always put out reminders of what our show's going to be about. Or you can like us at Brent Atwater, and you'll also know about our shows. So we're going to take a break and go to our sponsors, and then we're going to come back and share with Sharon Rutledge today, who's our guest, about her cat. Thanks so very much. See you on the other side.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Petco, where the pets go. Petco, where the pets go.
Pet Life Radio has tail-wagging, fur-flying, fabulous deals for our listeners from Petco. Get $6 off your order of $60 or more and up to 40% off the entire Petco site. That's right. But that's not all. Because you're a Pet Life Radio listener, you'll also get free shipping on your order of $49 or more. $6 off, up to 40% off, and free shipping from Pet Life Radio and Petco. To get these awesome deals, go to PetcoDeals.com. That's PetcoDeals.com.
Petco, where the pets go.
I don't make any decisions about who to hire without going to Angie's List first.
You'll find reviews on home repair to healthcare, written by people just like you.
With Angie's List, I know who to call, and I know the results will be fantastic.
Angie's List, who you can trust.
Go to angieslist.com/best and get 25% off any subscription. That's angieslist.com/best. BEST.
This year, Americans are expected to spend a jaw-dropping $36 billion on their pets. From lighted leashes to high-end spa products, the discriminating pet owner can find just about anything to pamper his or her pet. Hi, this is Michelle Fern. Join me every week for Best Bets for Pets, where we'll talk about the latest pet products and talk to the companies that make them. Best Bets for Pets. every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back, just like we hope your pet will reincarnate and come back to you. Now, for those of you who are healers out there or energy workers and animal therapists, we have a book that will be coming out in the spring called Animal Medical Intuitive Work. And in this, we teach you how to look inside a body like I'm doing on the radio today and help diagnose your pets and the animals that you work with. Now, what Animal Medical Intuitive Diagnosis does is it's the bridge between telepathic communication and energy work. You can actually see what you're doing and see what you're talking about. So we invite you in the spring to sign up on our website and look at all of the new Animal Medical Intuitive courses. Now, Miss Sharon, where are you calling from?
I'm in Florida Panhandle in a little town called Mary Esther.
Mary Esther. All right. Miss Meg, you want to tell us why Sharon's calling in today?
Yes, Sharon has a beautiful, beautiful brown kitty by the name of Big Guy.
He looks like he's almost black. Is he black?
He started off black, and then he's faded over the years. He's about 16 years old.
I think we all sort of fade a little over the years, okay?
He's a beautiful kitty, Sharon.
Yes, he is.
Tell us a little bit about Big Guy.
Okay, I've had him since he was like 5 weeks old, and I got him through adoption agency. And they were going to put him down because he was sick, and I took him home and I got him cleared up, and he's never been sick since. Except that he's got this spinal issue, and he's had this spinal issue for probably about 6 years, 7 years, and it's very difficult for him to walk, and he's very patient with it, but he does suffer from pain. And when I've taken him to the vet, they tell me that they cannot do much for pain for a cat, and they give him this stuff that's approved for dogs, but not for cats.
Is that the Rimadyl?
No, it's not Rimadyl. It's, and I can't think of what it's called. It's not in my head right now. I'd have to go look it up.
Okay.
But it's approved for dogs, but not for cats, and that it has a kidney issue for him. So I'm really, really, really stingy about giving it to him because I don't want his kidneys to go out. And the poor little guy, it's really hard for him to get up and go in and go to the bathroom.
Oh,
you mean like defecate or urinate?
To urinate. It's not hard for him to urinate. It's just hard for him to walk in there into the bathroom and to, relieve himself. If he gets, he can't sleep on the bed anymore because if he gets up on the bed, it takes him too long to get down and he'll wet the bed. And so a lot of the things that he used to enjoy, he just can't do anymore because of this issue. And I'd like to see if there's something we can do. I've worked some with energy with him. He's not real keen on Reiki, but I've done some other kinds of energy work, and I'm not having much success. So it's probably because I don't know where to focus.
Well, I don't necessarily say it's where you think about focusing. I think it's about, the quality and the time in his life that the bad part is, as we all age, everything sort of goes downhill, and there has to be something that slows our body down so when we cross over, it's okay. And I think this is just part of his aging process. I agree with you on the meds for pain because I'm a believer in using all there is on earth and not just being stuck with only veterinary medicine or alternative therapies. I think you should marry both and use the best of both worlds. But the way I'm aware of is to use energy healing. And one of the ways that you can do this, Sharon, is to be a dialysis machine for him. And I used this when my dog fell and severed his spinal cord nerves and crushed his vertebrae. And it was a lot of pressing and compression and pinching of his nerves, and he ended up being a quadriplegic until we got that all regenerated. And a way to help pull the pain out of his. Now, let me mention one thing. Cats are extremely energy sensitive, and cats take on negative energy. And that's just one of their roles in life, is to take on negative energy. And if he is in a negative energy environment, it's pretty important that you remove him from that, because that sort of increases the pain, and it also will magnify anything that he's got going on that's not good, because it lowers his immune system. When you work on an animal who has pain, it's critical, vital, whatever the word you want to use is the largest word, that you go into their energy field at a 45-degree angle. Because when you go into their energy field flat-handed, it's like slapping them upside the head. Like, you know, when you go behind somebody and pat them on the back and go, yo, how you doing? Well, when you work on an animal, you slide in at a 45-degree angle, especially in an injured animal, because all of their energy fields are hypersensitive due to both the pain. That's the way they protect themselves. And so everything is just like wired to the max. And you have to slide in instead of stiff-handedly going in. Now, one of the ways that you can reduce pain as a energy worker or just as a human being, you can hold his rear end paws and you can say, I ask, and it is my intent through the love of my heart to remove any and all pain now, forevermore, and always. And you can just stand there and say, I ask, and it is my intent to remove any and all pain now, forevermore, and always. So be it. It is done. And when you do that, you stand barefooted or you be barefooted. And what you are acting is like a kidney dialysis, except you are basically a pain dialysis. Or you can say, I ask, and it is my intent to send you my life force energy to use as you so choose. And that is more of allowing your cat to choose if he wants to use your energy to heal or if he wants to use it to exacerbate the progression that he's in and to go forward in life. So that way, by saying to use as you so choose, it's his choice. If you use the energy the other way, then what you're doing either way is being a dialysis, but one is directed, and if you haven't asked for his soul's permission, he can block it.
Right.
Now, you say you had worked with Reiki. Usually an animal will back their little bottom up to you if they're having hip pain. If you take your hands and if you put them with your wrists together and your thumbs together and create a V. Do you see what I'm doing? I mean, I'm holding my hand like a V. Mm-hmm. If you'll put your wrist bones together and your thumbs pointing straight up and then your hands out like either wings or like a V and spread your fingers about an inch, inch and a half apart. If you'll hold your hand like that and then slide it about 2.5 to 3 inches above their hip area, that's one of the ways that you can stop hip dysplasia and help pain in hips for arthritic animals. Now, I did this with my dog, and we ended up fusing his spine so that when they took an x-ray of it, they went, oh, my Lord, how did that happen? And what happened is the energy, because he was a 125-pound yellow Labrador retriever, and he had such shifting because he had such degenerative disc disease, and his vertebrae were shifting so much that it was causing him to be unable to walk. But what happened was, by doing that, the energy fused the vertebrae so that it stopped the pain, because the pain is created by nerve root compression. Right. And so as a cat goes up and moves down, that nerve root compression is exacerbated and heightens the sensitivity to the neural pathways, which makes him go, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's a way to very gently, by using with the palms over it, it's just sort of a very gentle say, I ask, and it is my intent for the energy to make you pain-free now. And you'd say, big guy, you are pain-free now. Big guy, you are pain-free now. And I always say it 3 times. And that way, it will create an energy field that tones down. Now, when you look inside a body, pain is a bright blue. And in the medical intuitive book that I have on how to see inside a body, there's a whole list, if you want to see it, of what the colors of disease and disorders are like. And I had someone say to me, well, it's a human, it's not an animal body. Well, here's the difference. Animals resonate at a lower vibrational frequencies than humans do. Energy itself, as you'll see in my medical intuitive book, How to See Inside a Body, there's a whole section on what the color looks like and the energy looks like of disease and disorders. And someone said to me, well, animals are totally different than human beings. No, they're not. Here's the difference. Animals resonate at a much lower frequency than human beings do. Their frequency range is much lower. But the colors of pain and immune system and cancer and things like that are the same, because each color represents a vibrational frequency of a disease or a disorder. And that color, whether in a human or an animal, remains the same. So when you have pain, you have a bright blue with a spiked purple edge. And where the pain is exacerbated, it has a gold flame edge. Now, do you see energy when you look at his pain?
Not real clear, no.
Okay. Well, for those of you out there, we'll take a break with our sponsors, and we'll come back and I'll tell you how to look at Big Guy's energy.
We'll transport back into the metaphysical right after these earthly words from our sponsors.
Every pet is unique. Maybe they're gray in the muzzle, yet young at heart. Maybe they're growing out of the puppy stage and into their paws and ears. Or maybe they're just trying to maintain a more girlish figure. At PetSmart, we have the right food for your pet at a great value for you. PetSmart. Be better together.
Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart and save up to 30% on toys, collars, leashes, PetSmart gift cards, treats, and more. Go to PetLifeRadio.com/PetSmart today.
I'm not much of a reader, but I do wish I were more well-read.
There are so many great books coming out. I wish I could find a way to keep up.
Audible.com makes it easy to stay well informed and catch up on your reading simply by listening. Audiobooks from Audible turn downtime into uptime. You'll be more productive and become well read.
Now I'm able to catch up on all the great books I've been wanting to read.
With Audible, I feel smarter.
Pet Life Radio listeners, try Audible.com now and get your first 30 days of Audible Listener Gold membership plan free. And get a free audiobook. Choose from over 100,000 titles. To get this great deal, go to audibledeals.com. That's audibledeals.com.
Want to know what cats like to eat for breakfast? Mice Krispies, of course. Learn everything there is to know about cats on Catitude with your host, Tom Dock. Each week, we'll spotlight a cool cat breed, give up-to-date advice on cat health, and check out spiffy new cat products. So curl up on the couch every week for a perfectly enjoyable time on Catitude. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi again. We're back with Sharon Rutledge and her cat, and what we're talking about is how to see your cat's energy when you're diagnosing health problems. Sharon, how have you been looking at his energy before?
It's just kind of, I sense energy and I work with it in terms of what I feel rather than what I see.
Wait a minute, we got to ask you this. When you say in terms of what you feel, what do you mean by that?
Well, when I'm working with him in particular, when I'm taking my hands and I'm coming down towards his lower back, the lower part of his spine, I begin to get a feel in my hands that there's something going on there that's not normal.
Okay. What you're feeling there is what we call glumped up energy, because the meridians of the energy are not moving correctly. And here's how to comb that out. If you'll start at the back of his ears, spread your sending hand. If you're right-handed, it would be your right hand. If you're left-handed, it would be your left hand. Spread your sending hand back behind his ears, going at a 45-degree angle, and very slowly comb down his spinal cord over the hip area until you hit the tail, and then flick your hands as if you're flicking water off your hands. Now, what that does is when you feel that aberration in the energy, that will smooth the energy out, which in turn will remove the pain and in turn restore any aberrant energy. Another thing that you can say is, and while you're doing that, I ask, and it is my intent to restore normal, healthy function to Big Guy now, forevermore, and always. I ask, and it is my intent to restore normal, healthy function to Big Guy now, forevermore, and always. And then you can also, when you comb, say, I ask, and it is my intent, and I command Big Guy be pain-free now, forevermore, and always. I ask, it is my intent, and I command the energy for Big Guy to be pain-free now, forevermore, and always. And that will smooth out the electromagnetics of his body.
Wonderful.
Now, to look at his energy, what you want to do is you want to close your eyes and say to yourself, I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. I always say it 3 times because that 3 is the universal number. First time helps you claim what you're doing. Second time sets your intent. And third time lets you know the universe you're serious and you're really focusing. So I always say it 3 times and it works better. But you say, I ask to see Big Guy energy now. I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. And close your eyes and then say, shift focus. And then open your eyes again and stare at him and don't blink. Okay. And this takes a little while to do. But once you stop blinking, you'll be able to see his exterior energy field. And you should see blue hovering over the areas of pain. Blue to a bright royal blue, bordering on going toward purple, but not. And the spikier the blue is, means the more chronic pain and more intense. And the brighter the blue. When you look at a pale blue sheer, that means it's a paralyzed area. So what you say is, I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. I ask to see Big Guy's energy now. Close your eyes, say focused, shift, and then look at him with your eyes open. And sometimes it takes a week to 2 weeks to get a visual on this, and you can do this with humans too. But what you're looking at is you're looking at his exterior energy field.
Right.
And that will allow you to see where he has pain. And when you see the different colors, you'll know what the pain is. Now, Barbara Brennan's book, Hands of Light, has a lot of information on the colors that you see. Orange being the immune system, yellow being inflammation, blue is pain, green is a healthy body. Sometimes red is life force energy, sometimes red is blood. Black is normally an area that is dead, and it can be dead from cancer, it can be dead from being a birth scar, it can be dead from being something that's numb. It can be all sorts of things. So when you look at a black area, you have to look at the layers of energy over it and under it to get a further refinement of the diagnosis of what's going on. But that book has a lot of interesting information in it, and I hope that, my book, Medical Intuitive Diagnosis, How to See Inside a Body, will have the same, because we define what everything looks like. So when you practice that, you want to do it with your shoes off, and you want to be sort of quiet. And if he moves away, always to ask permission to look inside his body.
Yes, okay, I do now. Back when I first was working with Reiki, I didn't know to do that, but I do now.
Well, it's one of the most important things of all, because if you don't ask permission to see inside a body, then you get a false read because you're not seeing 100%. And sometimes animals will block your read so that you can't get a dead-on target of what you're seeing, because an animal will shift their energy, and so the information that you're getting is not correct. So It's most important that you have to say to the animal, I ask to see your energy field now. I ask to see your energy field now. I ask to see your energy field now. And listen with your soul that they allow it. If they don't allow it, you can have a discussion. Or you ask them to let them see it another time. And sometimes animals who are getting ready to cross won't let you look at their energy field. Now, also, do you know that when an animal gets ready to cross while you're looking at an energy field, they pull in their energy field 24 to 48 hours before they cross? So if you're working with seriously ill animals, you can look at their energy field and tell by the height that is from outside the edge of their body line about how much longer they have here on Earth.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's sort of the old joke is for those who are energy healers and can see auras, never get on a plane where you can't see the auras of the captain and the stewardesses, because if you can't see their auras, that means within 24 to 48 hours, they're not going to be on Earth, and you certainly don't want to be on a plane with people you can't see their auras. So that's a little travel tip there. Do you have any other questions about your other cats?
Oh, well, yeah. Mr. B is my beautiful lion cat, and he's got hair coming out of everywhere.
Oh, fuzzy kitty.
Yes, he is. He's really overweight, and I got him when he was 6 months old, and I think he'd been on the streets for a while before they picked him up. And has this food thing. If the food is not available to him, he gets really freaky about it. And he has for years. He's just done this for years. And I'm just trying to figure out what I can do that isn't going to exacerbate that food thing, but at the same time it's going to help him lose weight because he's really, really overweight.
Well, we were talking to someone yesterday about how you can kill your cat with love because they had a cat that all it liked to do was eat, and so that's all they wanted to do was feed the cat, and that's not a healthy thing at all. One of the ways that you can handle that is to go to a veterinarian or to Pet Supply or wherever you purchase foods, and you can, over a period of a week to 10 days, substitute foods. Like if you use 10 parts of regular food, you can shift it to 9 parts of regular food and 1 to diet, and then 8 parts of regular food and 2 of diet, and then 7 and then 3 of diet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that way you're just replacing it with lower caloric foods, and in time he will lose weight. Another thing is this food just out for him all the time?
No, not anymore. But I do leave it out at night. When I go to bed until the time I get up, it's there for him to eat. Otherwise, he drives me nuts all night. I can't get any sleep.
Oh, I understand that. I think one of the things to do is feed a cat more than once a day because that way they don't panic that they're not getting all their food. Right. And it also keeps their blood sugar levels at a strong level.
Right. Several times a day.
Okay. Then I would just be substituting over a 7 to 10 day period. I'd be sliding in the low-calorie food into the delicious food so that in time they have to accept it, and they will accept it. You just have to slide in. Now, another way to do it is to sort of cheat, and you can take the low-calorie food and put chicken broth over it or the water off of tuna in a can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've investigated all the natural diets. Those are pretty low-calorie. And you can just sort of slide it, but you don't want to change any animal too quickly because then it'll change their poo-poo habits, and you may have problems, around the house. They can have problems in their litter box or in various places, and you don't want them to have diarrhea because you shifted the food too quick. That's the bottom line.
Right. Mr. B is real sensitive. He gets diarrhea very easily. So,
do you have him on probiotics?
No, I don't.
Well, that is something you can shake a little bit of probiotics into the top of his food, which will help him have less diarrhea.
Wonderful.
You can just take a little capsule and just a little bit of salt, how you just go shake, shake. Just a little bitty bit of capsule and go shake, shake, because I had an animal, my kitty Mikey, had cancer and she was having trouble eating. And to help her gain weight and to maintain weight, we tried to help her keep the food down. And I learned that you can take a probiotic capsule and shake a little bit of it on each of their meals, and it helps them digest better, and it helps them. It took her from having diarrhea all the time into normal stools. So it's really a health. Just on every little meal, just shake, shake a little bitty bit.
Good. Yes, that's a good idea.
Are there any other questions you have on your kitties? Because we are getting ready to go to break, and I'll be right back with her summing up the show.
I think I'm fine. You've answered my questions, probably given me more information than I can really take in all at once.
Well, that's what the podcasts are for.
Yeah.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Love your pets but wish their medications were a lot less expensive? They are at 1-800-PET-MEDS. You'll not only save on flea and heartworm medications, but on prescriptions for arthritis, incontinence, thyroid, and more. And you get fast service, free shipping, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Plus, our licensed pharmacists ensure accuracy, monitor drug interaction, and more. See why over 5 million people have trusted their pet's health to 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy. Call now or order online.
Go to petmeds.com/lucky, LUCKY, to get 10% off any order and free shipping on orders of $39 or more at petmeds.com.
How would you like your business to reach out and invite in our audience? We have a brand new trademark concept called InfoSeeds. InfoSeeds are short 20-second seeds of information about your place of business, practice, or service. Is the best, most cost-effective way to invite us in. We only have a limited number of slots left. For more information, visit the website
PetLifeRadio.com.
Click on sponsorship information. There you can listen to a sample of InfoSeed. Remember, only a limited number of opportunities are available.
Pets can be a wonderful addition to your life because they're a member of the family. Keeping them healthy and happy is important. Pet Life Radio presents The Pet Doctor with veterinary media consultant and veterinarian Dr. Bernadine Cruz. Whether you have a dog, cat, reptile, or rabbit, you'll find answers for your pets straight from the vets. The Pet Doctor, on demand every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back, just like your pets, we hope. And next week, we will be talking about reincarnated pets. So we ask you to send your questions to Brent at PetLifeRadio.com, and we hopefully will be able to help you determine whether your animal is going to be reincarnated. And the way I do that is I look inside your animal's body, I track it back into its past lives and can determine if it's been with you before, and then follow its energy over the death line. And if the energy formulates into the future, then I'll be able to describe Fluffy, Buffy, or Muffy and what they look like and when you'll be able to have them returned to you. So right now we're going to retouch base with Sharon, who's been so lovely in sharing her questions with us to help educate our audience about cats. And Sharon, do you have anything else you'd like to share today?
Well, I just want to say that I'm really grateful for your teaching on the energy of cats, because whenever I've approached Big Guy with my energy, it's been like he's backed away and said, it's like, I'm not interested. Don't do that. And so I stopped doing energy work with him. And I'm sure I came at him like a lumberjack. My energy, I'm going to do this. And now I know how to approach him a little bit more gently and easily. And I think maybe we can do some really helpful work here.
Oh, I know you can. And I think the very fact that first you ask his permission, and second, the most important and vital thing of all is going in at a 45-degree angle. And you go in slowly. You don't go in at a 45-degree angle like a dive bomber, like the hummingbirds. Boy, when they hit that 45-degree angle, they zoom. But you go in very carefully and just sort of ease your way down. And then you'll find that the cat, and when I taught you about putting your thumbs up and your wrists together and making the little wings, and you spread your fingers apart now. Put your wrists together, put your thumbs straight up to the air, and spread your fingers out to make the little wings. You will find that if you do glide into their energy field, they will literally back their little bottoms or back their leg or back their head or their shoulder or whatever part of them is aching into that pocket of your hands. But remember, when you are in an animal's energy field that's in pain or injured, you are dealing with nitroglycerin because their field is so on edge and so raw like the inside of a blister that they react just horrifically because that's how they sense all the time. I have an older cat named Ugly, the most beautiful of them all, and she's deaf. And if you touch her, then she just goes ballistic. I mean, she goes into survival mode. And what I've learned is to come up, I stamp my foot on the floor so she can feel the vibrations of it. And then when I go to touch her, I slide down in, and then she just, and rubbing all over you so she can be close to you. But if you go at her with your hand to pat her, she's already leaped straight up in the air and over 4 feet to get out of the way because it's her instinct and it's slamming into her energy field. So for those of you who have deaf cats or animals that are going deaf or can't see as well, this is also another critical thing to do with cats and their energy. And I think that's about it for today, unless you have any more questions.
I don't. Thank you so much.
Well, I really thank you for sharing today and allowing us to answer your questions, and hopefully for those listeners out there. Now, we want you to know that we're a weekly show. And if you miss us, you can catch us on podcast or in the archives. We're on iTunes. You can find us right there. And while you're on that gym treadmill, you can just listen how to do your stuff. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And if you'd like, sign up for our What's Happening events, and we'll tell you the subjects of every week's story, or especially on our Live Again page on Facebook. We'll give you what episode's coming up, and we'll look forward to sharing with you. Meg, you still over there?
Hey, yes, I am. Sharon, thanks so much for joining us today. And to all those who are listening, if you have a cat or a dog that's not feeling well, you have a question for Brent, please make sure that you email Brent at petliferadio.com. If you have suffered the loss of an animal and you're having a hard time with pet loss grief, please feel free to shoot me an email at meg@petliferadio.com. We look so much forward to helping you and your pet. Thanks for joining us today.
So to Mark, the producer, who always provides us this wonderful venue on Pet Life Radio, we thank you for allowing us to hopefully help your pet and to teach you just a little bit more to help your pet. Thanks so very much, and next week we'll see you then.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.